Welcome to the Build a Bear series, where instead of building soft toys, we are going to be building the archetypes that are found within Godforge. I'm going to give you a couple of examples from each archetype with some sort of different build strategies to help you boss Wave 3 and launch, depending on when you are watching this. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello there everyone, Ragewood here, back with another Godforge video, and today we are building Disruptors. So, like we've done with previous videos, how do we know who a Disruptor is? Well, what we're looking out for is this sort of hand symbol that we've got here. And if you're unsure, you just simply click the hand and it will tell us. All right, so Disruptors manipulates the flow of battle. The focus on applying powerful disables and debuffs. That pretty much sums up Disruptors just there and what they're here for. Sort of gives us an idea on how we're going to build them. Now, one thing that remains to be said is to do with their multipliers, in that when you look at them, they can be misleading and sort of try and encourage you to build them in a way that perhaps isn't the most optimal. So to find out what your particular disruptor scales from, you simply go to the abilities tab, click on any one of the abilities, it will come up here, and you push details for the information. It's the information in green that we're looking for. So Odin's basic attack scales from attack right there. His core ability also scales from attack, and then his ultimate lastly scaling from attack. Now you'll find that it's a very similar case for a lot of the disruptors in the game, although there are some slight differences. For example, if we click Loki and we look at his, you'll find that not only has he got an attack multiplier, but he's also got an accuracy multiplier. Now, unlike Odin, he's got accuracy multipliers on all of his damaging abilities, which is his basic and his ultimate. Because disruptors aren't there to do damage, and I don't think attack percent is the gear that you want on them. And a ton of accuracy, so they can hang around and do their job for longer. They are there to disrupt, disable, and debuff, not there for damage. Common misconception that I see with a lot of people that, like, my disruptor's dying, I'm not able to place my defense down. Well, 9 times out of 10 it's because you don't have enough accuracy and you've built them for damage. So yes, hopefully this video will help you. So we're going to build Skadi. She is arguably the best rare in the game. And if you don't feel that way, then she certainly must be in your top 5 somewhere. So, because she's got that special spot in my heart, we're going to build her. So, we're starting with the helmet. Now, the helmet seems to be a pretty easy one for me. The same with gloves, because they're the only 2 slots in the game where you can get accuracy as a main stat. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Now, for me, in my particular account for this Wave 2, I have got this helmet, which I do enjoy. Whilst it's only 3 stars, it does have accuracy. It's part of the Disruptor set, which has a 2-piece bonus to grant us more accuracy. So between the 2 of these and this set bonus, if I can get Disruptor down here too, or Disruptor in another slot somewhere, it's pushing us well towards that sort of magical 230 that you need for the higher end levels of the Cavern experience. Now, when it comes to shoulders, there's only really one thing that I care about, and that is surviving. So either HP percentage or defense percentage with some speed and accuracy would be nice. Now, looking through my sets here, I've got these defense percent shoulders with some very nice speed and HP substat rolls. The accuracy is kind of low, but for the time being, we're going to select it. And after going through the other pieces on my account, these are by far the best for me. So that is what we are going to choose. Coming down to the chest piece then, essentially we're looking for something similar to the shoulder. Accuracy and speed substats, it's a nice sort of balance for our build here. So on my account, options are quite limited for me unfortunately. I do have this piece here, which is an attack percent main. We do have speed, accuracy, and some, reasonable defensive substat rolls. So in this instance, this is what I'm going to pick. When it comes to the gloves, as alluded to earlier, really I want accuracy here. So that's what I'm going to try and pick out. Failing that, you could either go for crit rate with some decent accuracy substat rolls, which might be an option for me if I can get crit rate gloves in the Disruptor set, because then I'm sort of making up for not having accuracy with an accuracy substat roll. Or you can go for maybe flat HP, flat defense for your survivability, but accuracy for me on a Disruptor is number one, followed by crit rate with some decent substat rolls. So for gloves, what I've settled on is these crit rate gloves here. They are part of the Disruptor set, which is giving us the 25 bonus that we've got here. It also rolled accuracy, speed, and initiative here. So whilst it's not accuracy, it's good enough, I think. Now, I do have some accuracy gauntlets on the account with these ones here, which will grant us an extra 14 and some survivability, but I don't like the fact that we're losing so much speed up here for that 14. Now, ideally, if this 5-star Masterwork piece was accuracy, then happy days, we'd be going for it. The other accuracy gloves I've got on the account is this one here, which gives us speed, crit rate, and initiative. But again, it's actually losing 3 speed because we're breaking up the set. So for now, I'm going to keep these crit rate gauntlets on. If I can find some Disruptor pieces in either the boots or the legs for the 2-piece bonus, I might come back and change this. But for now, this is what we're sticking with. Down to the legs then. Got a few options here. So I like Disruptors to sort of go fast to try and make sure that they get lots of turns and open up potentially with that control. So speed on the legs is nice if you can get, again, accuracy, HP, defense, something like that. Failing that, either HP percentage, defense percentage main with speed and accuracy in the substats, which is what we're sort of going to be trying to look for. Failing that, so speed is going to be number one for us first. These are nice, speed with a little bit of accuracy and some defense down there. So we're going to throw those on for a second, just flick through the rest of the account. So going through my account, I do have these legs as well. They are 3-star compared to 4-star, which is why we're losing 2 speed sort of up over here. We are getting 5 more accuracy and 11 more initiative. Now, I do like the initiative gain on here. So I think for now, I'm going to take these and get more ultimates off potentially throughout the fight. Now, coming to the boots, as we've mentioned, speed is what we want here. And I've done this a little bit now, so I know what's good on the account. So on these particular boots I like because we've got speed main, initiative, and accuracy here. All right, so 216 speed, 212 accuracy, 146 initiative. Now the nice thing is it means I'm not forced into taking a weapon with an accuracy main stat up here, because we've got a reasonable number just built in right now. Now, another boot option I have are these. They are speed, they are Disruptor with some survivability and some accuracy. The downside is I'm losing a lot of initiative. But if I take these, then I don't need the crit rate gloves here, so I could get some accuracy here now. So for example, I could take these, which would push my accuracy up, but I'd be losing a lot of speed and initiative once again, and I'm not sure if that's something that we want. These accuracy gloves are nice. We're not losing so much initiative now, but we are still losing a lot of that speed, and that's something that, say, I don't really want. Whereas if I come back here, not losing speed, we've still got a respectable number of accuracy because the substat rolls are still very comparable. So I think I'm going to take this to round out the gear side of the build. So when it comes to weapons for disruptors, then anything with an accuracy main stat is really going to be great for you. Hackers are once again fantastic because not only do they boost your main stat accuracy, you're also increasing your survivability. And then I'm going to gain 10% of this as attack. So this in itself, if I just threw this one on, for example, is going to give me another 2,300 attack. So 3.5 attack. So I'll be doing respectable damage. Not going to be critting a whole lot. So it doesn't really matter though on this front because we're not building them for damage. Alternatively, I could go attack here, but that extra 300 isn't going to make up for the 500 that I'm going to get from the 10% there. So Hacker tends to be a common choice for me. Other options that you do have though, if you don't require the accuracy in your build, almost 300, it's almost a little bit overkill at this stage. You can just go for perhaps World Splitter, just increasing all of your stats by sort of a flat 10% everywhere. So if I threw this one on, yes, I lost 70 sort of accuracy, but actually by the time the battle starts, I'm getting another 20, pushing me to that sort of 230, 240 golden number. I'm going to gain speed, initiative, a little bit of crit rate. So another potential option that you can go there. Or you just go for some out and out damage with some thunderbolts, doing the maximum HP. If looking more early game, let's say, I mean, Hacker again tends to be for me, but if we're going earlier game before we jumped in, depending on which disruptor it is, you could go for a battle axe, you could go for a longbow, or you can go for the spear, which is way down here somewhere, for the increased core damage, the Doru. All right, but for example, if you're using a Mordred, his core doesn't do damage, so this is Doru is particularly useless for you, so you might want the battle axe. I do really love the Shamshir early on. Gives you accuracy, which is what we're looking for, and 12% turn meter after your ult, so you can come back round to auto attack once again, which is particularly nice on someone like Skadi, because Skadi has a freeze on her basic attack, and her ultimate places speed down. So you're slowing them down, pushing your own turn meter to come back to your A1 freeze. Shamshir is a really good weapon on Skadi early on. Ame no Naboko is obviously a good choice, because you'll get up to 90 accuracy when this is a max level 6-star. Lots of HP, stealing some turn meter. Or again, if you've got a particularly high costing ultimate, Mjolnir is another option. You're not getting the accuracy, but again, providing you've got enough built in anyway, that's not necessarily a problem. One more that I like is actually also the fan axe. So if you're placing a debuff on a single target, this will go up to a 50% chance to spread to a random enemy. Now it's only one, which isn't perfect, but if you're at a loss, you're really struggling, fan axe is a good option to try and give your debuffs more reach. And then one last early game option is actually Khopesh. Just ignoring this percentage of the resistance can make up for the drop in accuracy whilst giving you a few more stats. So Khopesh, another really good option. So gear sets disruptors love. It's going to be a combination of stuff that defenders love as well as stuff that are unique to disruptors. So firstly, the disruptor set. It's in the name. It's built for them. Lots of accuracy provided from this 25%. If you want to take it one step further, I think it's a bit extreme, but you can go for Raven. Now the difference here is Raven is increasing by percentage rather than a flat 25, so 2-piece is better. I don't know if you want the 4-piece. The 4-piece gives you a flat 50. 6 pieces increases your turn meter by 5% after placing a debuff. Now, it could be nice, but again, like with a lot of these 6-piece sets, in my opinion, I think you're better off going for like 2 and 4 in something, and then another 2 somewhere else rather than committing to a 6. But Raven, certainly even at 2-piece, is certainly very nice. Obviously, Disruptor. I also like Parasite. If you're placing a lot of debuffs, not just disables, Parasite 2-piece I really like because you're giving yourself a bit of survivability. 4-piece I wouldn't bother with. And then same with 6-piece Parasite. I don't think anyone's placing enough debuffs as a disruptor to warrant it. But I do like 2-piece for some survivability. Obviously, Eagle's okay for initiative. Avenger's all right for some healing. Because we're not building for damage, I don't know if this outweighs just Parasite. So let me know down below if you feel that way. Soul, someone like an Odin, for example, who, even though he's a disruptor, his ultimate hits very hard. Soul 2-piece could be very nice, as well as 4 and 6 for getting it back. Then you've got your survivability pieces, so things like your bear giving you defense. You've got your Kraken, like I've got here, giving you HP. And if you're early on, just going for even defender, like this one here, or brawler will work very nice. And then Falcon, there's nothing wrong with taking lots and lots of turns and going often. Falcon just giving you the speed allows you to do that. And then I can't remember if I've got any brawler pieces left. Don't think I do, but brawler is the early game HP set similar to defender. Razor is a niche pick, but I think we've covered most of them there with some gear sets that I like on them. And that is it. So in summary, when building disruptors, you want high accuracy, high speed. You want to be going often, making sure you're landing those key debuffs or disables. So as you can see from our Skadi build, reasonable amount of HP, a lot of disruptors scale from attack percent, but do not build them for damage. That we do not care about that. We want them to live often to do their job. So reasonable amount of HP. Obviously, I've got the Hecker on Skadi here, so we're going to gain another 2k attack, which is very nice. 216 speed, 146 initiative, crit rate, crit damage we don't care for, resistance, and 287 accuracy on this particular build. So nothing in the Caverns experience is going to resist this, because there is no 3% in Godforge, so anything above 240, I think you're Gucci. This is a bit overkill, so perhaps we would adjust the build in the future. And it doesn't matter, say, which disruptor you're building, this is what you want to follow. So whether you're building an Odin or a Loki or a Mordred, do follow the same instruction. Whilst you can build them for damage, don't get me wrong, it is not the way that I would recommend doing it. So thank you very much for watching. Take care and look after yourselves. Work hard, but as always, play harder. And I will see you in another one soon. Cheers.